What if we flip the last 2 decades of NFL history on its head? That's what we're going to be doing, as we are going to simulate from Madden 07 all the way to Madden 24 and changing everything about the NFL since that time. Players will find new homes, legacies will be made and destroyed, and entertainment is to be had by all. Sit back, relax, and enjoy as everything you know and love about the NFL today changes for good. And here we go, the start of what is going to be a very long journey here, and we're starting at Madden 07. 18 Maddens we gotta go through before we reach the end of this, and here we go. So, starting with franchise. So for each season, we're going to choose the defending champions to watch throughout the year. So the defending champions entering Madden 07 were the Steelers. But of course, we're just going to sim right through the preseason because nobody watches the preseason anyway. So what I plan for this, the only Madden that I don't plan on using for this is Madden 13, just because that's a stupid game and it doesn't allow you to it doesn't allow you to use custom rosters in franchise, and something that would really hinder this if rosters change a lot, of course. Alright, so the NFL season opener starts with the Steelers winning 22-20. Dante Culpepper throwing 2 picks in his Dolphins debut. Big Ben didn't do so hot either, but alas. Then we're going to watch Drew Brees, and in his Saints debut, he actually gets hurt. And it leads to Todd Bowman throwing a touchdown in this game that the Saints lose. And then another game we're going to focus in on is Ravens-Bucks. Steve McNair's Ravens debut, rest in peace, in which it's a narrow loss. Then we're also going to watch Vince Young's NFL debut, in which he beats the Jets. 200 yards, a touchdown for him. And then we're also going to watch Niners-Cardinals, in case Matt Leinart's playing. He doesn't. And then we're going to watch T.O. debut for Cowboys, in which they get blown out by the Jags. David Garrard was on one. And T.O. had 4 receptions for 38 yards. Not a great performance. Then we're also going to watch the Manning Bowl. So of course we're going to look at key games throughout the season. And eventually when Super Sim comes to the game, which I think is Madden 08, we're going to use that to its full potential. So we sim till week 5 just to get a read on how teams are doing so far. And Patriots are 4-0 until they get beat by the Dolphins in a very close game. Chiefs are still undefeated. They face the winless Cardinals, pick up a victory with Damon Huard starting. Then the Raiders move to 4-0, which may convince Randy Moss to stay. As you might know, he does get traded after the end of this season to the Patriots. So maybe with how the Raiders are doing, that doesn't happen. Then we get to watch the grudge match between T.O. and the Eagles, in which the Cowboys just get embarrassed 31-3. And these two teams, who are pretty good, are winless. The Ravens pick up a win. So looking at the standings, the Cowboys, Broncos, and Cardinals are the only winless teams left, while the Raiders and Chiefs are the last undefeated teams left after week 5. So week 6, the Cowboys get back up against the Texans. The Chiefs pick up a nice dub against the Steelers, in which Charlie Batch has to come in. Damon Ward delivers. The Raiders finally lose to the Broncos, and the Cardinals finally pick up their first win against the Bears. The Raiders beat the Cardinals. The Chiefs get handed their first loss, and now we're at week 14. We simmed all the way there. I cut that out just for the sake of time. But here, the playoff picture, how it looks: Chiefs, Patriots, Jets, Colts. Yeah. The Texans have lost 8 straight. And then the NFC, you got Bucks, Seahawks, Redskins, Vikings, Eagles. And then the Rams and Falcons fighting for that last spot. The Browns take a humiliating L. The Raiders lose to the Bengals. The Vikes beat the Lions. The Giants beat the Panthers. The Colts beat the Jags. Patriots beat the Dolphins. Then we see the Jets beat the Bills. And then we're also going to see, in a big game for division, the Falcons beat the Bucks. And another one here, the Eagles beat the Redskins. Yeah, I'm going to keep calling them Redskins. I don't care. And now Broncos, Chargers. The Broncos lose a game that might kill their season. And then the Chiefs blow out the Ravens 52-0. And when I saw this, I just had to look through the stats, man. Trent Green, pretty great day. Larry Johnson, 185 yards and a touchdown. And he picked up some good receiving yards. Bears-Rams, important game for playoff positioning, but Bears pick up a dub. Now, week 15, Seahawks pick up another win. The Falcons pick up another win. The Bears pick up another win. But Patriots get upset by the Texans. The Chiefs move to 12-2 after beating the Chargers, and now the Chiefs are in line for the number 1 seed as long as they win one game the rest of the year. The Pats are in the 2 slot. The Colts are 3. Steelers are 4. Jets are 5. Raiders are 6. And the Broncos are tailing just behind. So are the Jags. The Ravens don't really have a chance. And in the NFC, we see the Seahawks, the Bucks, the Skins, the Vikes, and the Eagles are currently 5th, first in a wild card with 5 straight wins. And the Falcons are in that 6th slot, with the Giants and Bears tailing just behind. Big game for the Vikes. They get blown out by the Packers. Raiders need to win this. Chiefs win it instead. Chiefs get the number 1 seed in the overtime duel. Falcons, this will be a big win for their season, and they don't get it. The Bucks get a big win, and they keep going. The Bears-Lions, important game for playoffs. Bears pick up the dub, move to 8-7. Now the Colts have a good shot to clinch the division with a win, and they lose to the Texans. The Texans playing straight spoiler. And the Patriots get blown out by the Jags. Now Giants-Saints. The Giants trying to get in. Steelers already have Division 1. So they are really just playing for positioning. That's why they lost to the Ravens. The Skins get a big win. And here, Broncos season on the line against the Bengals, and the Broncos lose. They still have a chance to get in, but it looks bleak as Eagles get blown out by the Cowboys in a rematch. And Seahawks trying to get that number 1 seed locked up. Now they get a win. So now we're in week 17. Giants need a win. They don't get it. They're done. Bears, if they're in with a win, the Bears get into the playoffs. Steelers, best they can do is move up to the 3 slot, which is what they fail to do. So they lose to the Bengals. Colts, with a win, lock up the AFC South, which is what they do against the mediocre Dolphins. Chiefs, can they get 14-2? They do, and thus kick the Jags out. Raiders need a win. Jets need a win. Jets get the win. And now if the Patriots lose to the Titans, the Jets win the division. And that is exactly what happens. As the Patriots choke the division, Jets are AFC East champs. And now the Broncos, they get a win, and they're in. And now the Seahawks and Bucks play for the number 1 seed, and Seattle gets it. So Seattle, the NFL playoffs will run through Seattle and Kansas City too. So it's Chiefs, Jets, Colts, Steelers winning the divisions, and then the Patriots and Broncos getting the wild cards. Seahawks, Skins, Bucks, and Vikes all win their respective divisions. The Falcons, in a win-and-in game against the Eagles that I forgot to look at, picked up the win against the Eagles. So that kicked the Eagles out and pushed the Falcons in. Now, wild card time, Peyton Manning picks up a win against his future team and what becomes Jake Plummer's last game. Jake Plummer won MVP this season, which we'll see later. And he's not in Madden 08. He retired after the 06 season. And I just don't feel like it's worth it to recreate him in Madden 08. So, the Bears pick up a win against the Bucks. And plus, the Broncos have Jay Cutler. So, Pats Steelers. This one is an interesting game. The Steelers win in overtime on a kick return touchdown, first play of overtime by Ike Taylor. And they came back from down 10 in the fourth quarter. And they came back to win. And then Falcons, Vikes pick up a big win. And now Steelers Chiefs for a spot in the AFC title game, and it goes to Kansas City. Now Bears Seahawks, this NFC title game will be in Seattle. Colts Jets, Chad Pennington is in the AFC title game. And so is Mark Brunell. So Chad Pennington versus Trent Green. The Jets pick up a 30-24 win. Chad Pennington is on to Super Bowl 41. And the Seahawks get back. After losing last year to the Steelers, they are in the Super Bowl. And now in the Super Bowl, the Seahawks blow out the Jets. Matt Hasselbeck threw 5 touchdowns. An amazing game from him. And I don't get why he didn't win Super Bowl MVP. I mean, Julian Peterson, he did get 2 picks and a scoop and score. See, here we are, awards. Jake Plummer wins MVP. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Larry Johnson, which is who I picked for the cover of Madden 08. Then we get Defensive Player of the Year is going to go to Derek Johnson, also the Chiefs. Offensive Rookie of the Year, my man VY Vince Young. And then I don't know who that is who won Defensive Rookie of the Year. Never heard of him. Freddie Keaho, I guess is how you say his name. But anyways, Larry Johnson, he had an amazing season. Then we also got Clinton Portis, who was my second choice. Will Witherspoon wins Defensive Player of the Year. And amazing year from him. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. And then leader in passing yards, Mark Bulger, almost 4,200. Jake Plummer threw 36 touchdowns, which is probably why he won MVP. But leader in picks, Josh McCown, Mr. Traveling Man himself. Played for 12 teams, I think? Just off the dome. Steve McNair got sacked 52 times. Considering how old he is, that's probably not good. Rest in peace, my boy Eric McNair. Good completion percentages from Hasselbeck, Brady, and Manning. We are really comparing Matt Hasselbeck to the 2 greatest quarterbacks of our generation. Leader in rushing yards was Clinton Portis. He did break the 2,000-yard barrier. But I just think Larry Johnson was better because he had 17 touchdowns to Portis' 16. And he also had some nice receiving touchdowns too. Like you saw that game against the Steelers and the Ravens. Receiving leader, Torrey Holt and Deion Branch in second. Now where are we going to put Deion Branch? In reality, he got traded to the Seahawks at this time. But he never gets traded to Seattle. And I just feel like he wouldn't go there just after they won a Super Bowl. In one of these test runs I did, I put him on the Chiefs. Well, he signed with the Chiefs in free agency. So I just put him on the Chiefs. I think that's what I'm going to do. Especially since the Chiefs were good and they need receiving help. So we're going to look at the draft order. The Saints get the number 1 pick. Dolphins at 2. The Browns get the 3rd pick. Cardinals get the 4th. Cowboys get a top 5 pick. Panthers at 6, Lions at 7. And then we get Titans at 8, Packers at 9, Texans at 10, Niners at 11, Bengals at 12. You can see the rest, but you can slow it down. And I'll cover what happens in the 07 draft. It's going to be subjective because I couldn't find a good draft to import for Madden 07 into this. So I'm just going to subjectively pick where players go, which isn't really the best way, but it's the most reliable. So we'll cover that in the Madden 08 video. When that comes out, that'll be the first thing we do before we sim. And free agency, not super significant moves happening. Like Willie Anderson of the Steelers, yeah, that's a big one. Berto Garza to the Jets. But nothing that's like super league changing. Willie Anderson's a vet, so I don't expect him to stick around for long. In reality, he retired after 08. Justin Gage to Patriots, Titans legend Justin Gage. And that's really about it. Nothing else that's such a big move on the radar. Jordan, that's an interesting one. But yeah, that's really about it. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead, like and subscribe. And make sure to get the notifications on so you can see when Madden 08 comes out, as well as the rest of the series. My name's Cobra. I'll see you guys next time.